difference between variance, covariance, coefficient of variation, What are the differences between the variance and covariance and coefficient of variation? First of all, variance. Variance is an absolute measure. Variance is an absolute measure. What is the variance means? It is an absolute measure. It is useful to find the variations in the given series. Variations in the given series. Absolute measures are useful to find the variations within a group, within a given series. Within a series means it is nothing but the variance. Variance is also called as standard deviation square. Variance is equal to standard deviation square. Next, how to find the variance? How to find the variance? See, this is the variance definition is nothing but variance is mean of square deviations. Mean of the square deviations. Variance can be denoted by S square, standard deviation square, S square or sigma square. S square is equal to variance. S square is equal to, it is the arithmetic mean means sum of the observations by number of observations. It is the arithmetic mean of square deviations. When the deviations are taken from their respective mean. This is the standard deviation square. This is deviations are taken from actual mean. The deviations are taken from actual mean. Next, the deviations are taken from assumed mean is sigma d square by n. It is the arithmetic mean of square deviations minus sigma d by n whole square. This is the variance. Variance can be denoted by standard deviation square. This is the assumed mean method. The deviations are taken from assumed mean. Next, direct method or without deviation method. That is sigma x square by n minus sigma x square by n minus x bar whole square. This is without deviation method or direct method. This is the variance. Variance. See here, difference between the variance, covariance and coefficient of variation. This is the variance. Variance means an absolute measure. Variations in the given series means the deviations are taken from arithmetic mean, deviations are taken from assumed mean without deviation method. This is the variance is nothing but how to find the variance when the deviations are taken from actual mean. Actual mean is nothing but x. How to find the x bar? X minus x bar whole square. This is sigma x minus x bar whole square by n. This is the arithmetic mean of square deviations. This is actual mean method. Deviations are taken from actual mean. Next, the deviations are taken from assumed mean. Within a series, the deviations are taken from assumed mean. Deviations d is equal to x minus a. Here you have to find the actual mean of x bar, sigma x by n. Here you have to assume any value in x, that is d is equal to x minus a, d square, that is x minus a whole square. This is the sum of the square deviations, that is sigma d square by n minus sigma d by n whole square. Sigma d square means sum of the square deviations. Sigma d means sum of the deviations, and the deviations are taken from assumed mean method. This is the second method. Next, direct method. The formula is direct method formula is sigma x square by n. Direct method s square is equal to sigma x square by n minus x bar whole square. The formula, so if they given the series is x series, then x square. This is x bar is equal to sigma x by n. In this, the given formula sigma x square means sum of the squares of the given observations. X bar means it is sigma x by n. This is the variance. Variance is having the three formulas or three forms. Deviations are taken from actual mean, or deviations are taken from assumed mean. Direct method. Next, what is it by covariance of x comma y? Covariance of x comma y. It is the joint variations in both x and y series. It is the joint variations between both x and y series. That is joint variations in the both x and y series. The covariance of x comma y is equal to, the formula is nothing but the deviations are taken from, it is the arithmetic mean of the deviations. That's why it is sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar by n. This is the covariance of x comma y. This is which method? Deviations taken from actual mean. Deviations are taken from actual mean. Next, covariance of x comma y, that is sigma dx dy by n minus sigma dx by n into sigma dy by n. This is sigma dx into dy by n minus sigma dx by n into sigma dy by n. This is deviations are taken from assumed mean. Next, covariance of x comma y, and the deviations are taken from actual mean. Deviations are taken from assumed mean without deviation method. Sigma xy by n minus x bar into y bar. This is covariance of x comma y. This is the covariance of x comma y when the deviations without deviation are the direct method. Without deviation method of the direct method. So this is the first one, it is x. The joint variations means it is x, y they given. The variations in x minus x bar, y minus y bar, x minus x bar into y minus y bar. This is the covariance of x comma y when the deviations are taken from actual mean method. Next, x, y, x minus a is also represented by dx. Next, y minus a is also represented by dy, dx into dy. This is the deviations are taken from assumed mean method. The deviations are taken from assumed mean method. Direct method is x, y. This is x into y. X bar is equal to sigma x by n. Y bar is equal to sigma y by n. This is the covariance of x comma y. Covariance means it is the joint variations between both x and y series. Next, coefficient of variation. What is meant by coefficient of variation? Coefficient of variation. Another one, it is coefficient of variation. Coefficient of variation. This is also represented by CV. Coefficient of variation. It is a relative measure. It is the relative measure. This measure is useful to find the variability, stability, and uniformity. Uniformity in two or more data sets. Variability, stability, and uniformity in between the two or more data sets. Two or more data sets. More data sets. The relative measure, this way does not have any units. The coefficient of variation is equal to formula standard deviation by mean into 100. It is always expressed in percentage. To find the variability, stability, and uniformity between the two or more data sets. If there are two data sets A and B, for data set A you have to find the coefficient of variation of A and coefficient of variation of B. Coefficient of variation of A means standard deviation of A by mean of A into 100. Coefficient of variation of B means standard deviation of B by mean of B into 100. In these two, coefficient of variation and the coefficient of variation of A and coefficient of variation of B, which is more stable means if the coefficient of, for example, if it is coefficient of variation of A is less than coefficient of variation of B. In these two, which data set is having the lesser value of CV? Lesser value of CV. Here it is CV of A is lesser value of CV. Therefore, the group A is more stable or more uniform. A is more stable and more uniform. The less variations means less variations or lesser value of CV. Less variations means more consistent, more uniform, more consistent, more uniform, more stable than the other. The less variations means lesser value of CV is more stable or more uniform or more consistent than the other. This is the difference between CV and coefficient of variation and variance, and another one it is covariance of x comma y. Variance means it is the variations in only one series. Covariance means it is the joint variations in both x and y series. The coefficient of variation, or this is also called as coefficient of standard deviation. It is the relative measure. It is the relative measure. Variance is the absolute measure. This is nothing but you have to find the covariance between x and y series.